If you're thinking about moving to North Carolina, you need to know about the things that make our state so unique. Coming up, we're going to tell you 10 things you need to know before moving to North Carolina. Hi, I'm Chris Morton, real estate broker with eXp Realty in Raleigh, North Carolina, and today we're going to talk about 10 things you need to know before making the move to North Carolina. The first and probably most important thing you need to know about moving to North Carolina is barbecue. So in most of the country, if you say the word barbecue, people are going to assume you're going to need to pull out a grill and grab some burgers, steaks, chicken, whatever. Not in North Carolina. In North Carolina, barbecue is a noun. It's a type of food made out of pork, and there are two different kinds in North Carolina. There's Eastern North Carolina barbecue, which is a whole hog pork product. It is chopped up usually. It's again on the eastern side of the state, and the sauce is a vinegar-based thin sauce. The other kind of barbecue in North Carolina is Lexington style or Western North Carolina barbecue. That is generally pork shoulder, possibly chopped, possibly pulled, and the sauce is a tomato-based sauce. So in North Carolina, if someone says, let's go get barbecue, you should probably not run to the grocery store and grab hot dogs and hamburgers. The number two thing you need to know about North Carolina is our weather. North Carolina is very unique in that we have microclimates all throughout the state. It can be hot and humid on the coast, near the ocean, and at the same time be cool and fairly dry in the mountains. Obviously, in the coastal region of North Carolina, you're not going to get a whole lot of snow in the winter. It's going to be a little bit more humid, whereas in the mountains are going to get a good bit of snow in the winter. We also have weather events that happen in our state. In the coast of North Carolina, you're going to see hurricanes happen on occasion. It's not something that happens every single year. We probably get one or two every other year, hurricanes, and the majority of them are not very severe. It's a big deal if you're on the coast. You got to prepare ahead of time. The good news is, weather systems being what they are today, you generally get a feel for how bad a storm's going to be and where it's going to track 4, 5, 6 days out. In the mountains, they get a lot of snow, so of course they have to be prepared for that. Whereas the majority of the state doesn't have snowplows, in the mountains they do have a lot of snowplows and can shovel snow very, very quickly and get the roads back open. Whereas if you're in the middle of the state or on the coast and there's a snowstorm, you're going to be stuck where you are. Not enough snowplows to make things happen and get all into the neighborhoods. Occasionally in North Carolina, we have tornadoes, mostly caused by either thunderstorms or the hurricanes. Doesn't happen very often. It's not like Kansas where there's constant tornadoes going on, but it's something to be aware of. And as well, we have a lot of thunderstorms, especially in the summer. And thunderstorms can pop up just about anywhere. Because of the number of trees we have here, we tend to have some down power lines that happen during thunderstorms, so it's something you also have to be aware of and be prepared for. The number three thing you need to know about North Carolina is our sports teams. So North Carolina has 3 major professional sports teams in the state. There's the Charlotte Hornets, which is the NBA team in our state. The Carolina Panthers, the NFL football team in our state. Those are both located in Charlotte, North Carolina. And the third team we have in our state is the NHL hockey team, the Carolina Hurricanes. They are located in Raleigh, North Carolina. In addition to these 3 pro teams, we have a lot of minor league teams all throughout the state, and we have college teams all throughout the state. UNC Chapel Hill, Duke University, NC State, Wake Forest University, East Carolina University, UNC Wilmington, UNC Greensboro, UNC Charlotte, UNC Asheville, Appalachian State University. The list goes on and on with the number of football and basketball teams we have in the state. Guaranteed, wherever you land, you will find a team to root for. The number 4 thing you need to know about the state is our outdoor activities. On the eastern side of the state, we have the beaches, so of course anything to do with going to a beach, you can enjoy on that side of the state. On the western side of the state, we have the mountains. So hiking, biking, trail walking, enjoying skiing, all the things that you can imagine doing in the mountains, you can do there. Throughout the state, we have a thriving winery scene going on where grapes are being grown and wine is being produced, especially in a section of our state in the center part of the state called the Yadkin Valley. There's been a lot of success with making really good quality wine in the Yadkin Valley region of our state, and we're going to be doing a video on this area coming up really soon. You also have lots of historic towns and areas in the state of North Carolina. Namely, I can think of Old Salem, which is the original Moravian settlement. It's in Winston-Salem. You also have the original state capital in New Bern. So when North Carolina was a colony and first became a state, all of the legislative buildings are there and you can go tour them. Very cool. There's also lakes and rivers throughout the state, so you can definitely enjoy boating, kayaking, that sort of thing. And as well, most of the cities have parks, greenways, hiking trails, and fun things to do on the outside in your specific city that you move to. And speaking of the things to do in the cities, the number 5 thing you need to know about is the proximity of our cities. So, North Carolina is really cool how it's set up. We have very good roads and it makes it fairly easy to get places. For example, the drive from Wilmington to Raleigh is only 2 hours. The drive from Raleigh to Charlotte is only 2.5 hours. The drive from Charlotte to Asheville is only 2 hours. And the drive from Asheville to Wilmington is only 5.5 hours. So basically, no matter where you live in the state, it's really easy to get to the beaches or the mountains or wherever you want to go. The number 6 thing you need to know about North Carolina is our population. North Carolina is a very growing, thriving state. We have now 10.5 million people living in the state of North Carolina as of the 2020 census. Charlotte is the largest city in the state with about 890,000 people living there. It makes it the 15th largest city in the United States. The second largest city in North Carolina is Raleigh, the state capital, with about 480,000 residents. Greensboro is third with about 300,000 residents. Durham is fourth with about 280,000 people living there. Winston-Salem comes in fifth with about 250,000 people. Fayetteville, 215,000 people. Cary, 175,000 people live there. And Wilmington on the coast, 125,000 people call Wilmington home. The 3 largest metropolitan areas in North Carolina are Charlotte, Gastonia, Concord with 2.7 million people. Raleigh, Durham, Chapel Hill, the Triangle with 2.1 million people. And Greensboro, Winston-Salem, High Point, also known as the Triad, with 1.7 million people. The number 7 thing you need to know about North Carolina is our confusing roads. So if you're from the state, you probably don't know any different, but we are not set up like a grid pattern like you would find in the western states. Roads kind of go here, there, and everywhere, and it takes a little while for people to get used to it when they move here. A lot of people also complain about the lack of street lights we have in our state. So, because a lot of our state is rural, we don't typically have street lights everywhere. And even in the major cities, you're not going to see a ton of street lights. Signs are also small. We have a lot of trees, making it very dark and difficult to see at night. So you better have yourself a nav system or know where you're going. The number 8 thing you need to know about North Carolina is our politeness. So North Carolina has a reputation for being very polite to each other and very considerate, and you should expect to see that when you move here. For example, people are going to let you merge in when you put your signal on the road. Perfect strangers are going to say hi, hello to you, open the door for you, and generally be very considerate of other people. I can tell you most people find it really rude if you come here from another state bragging about your former state and bragging about how much money you made on selling your house and what a great deal you got on a house here. That's generally going to get frowned upon by people that live here, especially locals. We're going to probably tell you to move back where you came from. The number 9 thing we need to tell you about is our politics. So North Carolina is a purple state, running pretty much 50-50 Democrat, Republican. You're going to tend to find more Democrats in the bigger cities, whereas the smaller cities, smaller towns, and rural areas, you're going to find more of the Republicans. So because we are a purple state, people tend not to talk very much about politics. It's rude, and although you occasionally hear people blasting off about who they voted for, most of the time people don't want to hear about it. So my advice to you is probably keep your politics to yourself and go with the flow. And the number 10 thing I need to tell you about is our animals. In addition to birds and deer and squirrel and fish and all the other cool animals out there, we also have bears in the mountains and alligators on the coast. So bears typically don't bother you. If you see one, you probably want to run. It goes without saying. Alligators are on the coast. It's not prevalent as you would see like in Georgia or Florida. So growing up on the coast of North Carolina, I never saw any alligators. So it's not like they're like roaming the streets, eating your chihuahuas or anything. That just doesn't happen here. So there you have it. 10 things you need to know before making a move to North Carolina. We hope this has been helpful. Please subscribe, comment below. And with that being said, look forward to seeing you next time. This has been Chris Morton. Take care. Bye-bye.